All right. What's up, Anton? What's going on? What's going on? What's up, guys? You're in? Anton, what's up,
What
dude?
up, my guy?
Did you get your haircut just for this?
Just for this, my guy. I got ready, man. Let's do this. I'm gonna be on the live with Fernando. Gotta look good.
All right, how do I share this? Can I share this to my story right now, or I can't? I don't think I can share this on my story. That would have been cool if we could.
On or off?
All right. Let me see. Uh, it's up to you. You can leave it on.
I mean, whatever
Yeah.
sounds better.
Yeah, it sounds pretty good right now. All right, what's up, everybody? Thanks for hopping in. We'll give it a minute and let other people. Yeah, we are going to save the live too, and then I'll upload it so you'll have access to it too later on. All right. I'll give it 30 seconds. What are you up to right now? Are you finishing up your day?
I am, and I was just doing follow-up Wednesdays, where we're following up on our clients' leads. That's every Wednesday, 5 p.m. Eastern, and it always goes to like 7, 8 p.m. And I literally had to tell everybody I have to jump off because I have to jump on a live.
What
But
is that?
that's what we're doing. We just
So when you say you're following up on people's leads, so like how does that? What do you mean by that?
Yeah, so we own a company called REI Call Center, where we help people find off-market deals, and we do cold calling for them. And then we also have acquisition managers who follow up on those leads for the clients. So you can either get a cold caller and an acquisition manager. But this is not about REI Call Center. But every Wednesday, for people that usually just have a cold caller, we do a live Zoom call where we invite all of our clients and say, let us follow up on your leads. We invite our top acquisition managers. I'm in there as well. And we just call. And we just follow up.
Really?
Today we almost made a deal, man. We were like this freaking close. It was crazy.
Yeah. So it's just fun. It's just
Crazy.
fun. It brings the community in. It's just dope.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
It's fun. It's inspiring. It gets people to get off their butts and actually pick up the phone and do the follow up to show them that it's not that hard.
All right.
So
All right, man. I say we just get started. So for those of you who are hopping in, Anton is a business owner, investor, and just all around cool dude. I wanted to bring him on because we just finished closing a deal where he bought a triplex in Florida, and he's going to be converting that triplex into a fourplex or a fiveplex. So it was a pretty, I wouldn't say complicated deal, but it was pretty advanced. You know, you got DSCRs, you got 1031s, you got partnerships, LLCs. So you got a lot working in that deal, and obviously in terms of how you're going to make money from it and invest. So it's pretty deep and involved. So kick it off a little bit. Tell us a little bit about yourself and your businesses or what you do, and then tell us how you found the deal and the strategy. Like, how are you going to make money off this thing?
perfect, man. So my name is Anton. I own a company called REI Call Center. I'm a real estate investor. I've been investing for the last 3 years. The first year I did wholesaling pretty much 99% of my time. That's what led me to start a company like REI Call Center. And now 80% of my time I do dedicate to REI Call Center and 20% on real estate investment. Like Fernando said, I'm doing through partnerships, through my girlfriend who's a realtor as well. My portfolio right now consists of not many, only 8 units, and this is gonna up that a little bit. So, but I'm primarily focused on buy and holds and for long-term rentals, and I do also Airbnb arbitrage, which we cold call Airbnb property owners and rent their properties. So that's a little bit about myself in terms of how I found that deal.
Yeah, how'd you find the deal?
Yeah, man. So that deal actually came from a cold caller. So we have a cold caller at REI Call Center that my business partner is using, and we found, actually, I'm going to take a step back. That deal did not come from a cold caller. That deal came from the MLS. But let me take a step back in terms of how it got us there. We found a deal in Lake Worth, Florida through cold calling. It was a single family property, 3-2, cookie cutter flip. We negotiated off market, bought it, fixed it up, and flipped it, and made $180,000. Well, with all said and done, we made about $90,000 on it, and then we also had another 90.
And how long? And like, how long did it take to make that?
3 months.
Damn.
Crazy. 3 months from the point that we got the lead to the closing, to the rehab, to the actual sale. So it was a quick 3 months transition. Maybe even less, my guy, to be honest with you, now that I think, but it was quick. So that was that. That was an off-market deal that we found that let us net $90,000. So what we did is we said, hey, we can either pull that money out and take our $90,000 that we invested into it and pay Uncle Sam 20%, or we can look for another deal. And we decided to do a 1031 exchange. For those of you who don't know, well, I'm sure your listeners know
Yeah.
1031 exchange.
Go ahead. So, but talk about it.
But yeah, really quick. 1031 exchange is when you sell a property and you use the proceeds from that sale. So we made the 90,000, and then you invest it into another property through a 1031 exchange company. So that money you would never actually touch. So you sell the property, the money goes into the 1031 exchange company, and then from that company goes to the title company for the new property. There are some rules and regulations on this. For example, the property has to be more expensive. The property has to be similar type.
Yeah.
The property you have to find it in 45 days or less. So there's time constrictions, but it's definitely a great way to avoid paying Uncle Sam too much money.
And you saved what, maybe like 20 grand or more off of it by not paying taxes. Like, how much do you think you would have saved? Because capital gains tax is like 15 or more %, right?
Yeah, I mean, 90K we would have pulled out as proceeds, and then we would have, I mean, you do the math, $18,000 we would have paid in taxes.
Yeah.
Plus, who knows, so like 20K, yeah. So it was definitely a logical move.
Cool.
This was not my first time doing a 1031 exchange. So for those of you who are afraid to do it, it's a simple process. You just find somebody like Fernando. He'll connect you with a 1031 exchange company, and then you can do the same thing. It's not overcomplicated.
Okay, cool. And to answer Felipe is he's not single. All right, his girl is listening, so he's not single, right, Felipe? Keep your hands off of him.
Felipe's in the building. What's up, my guy? We should get him on here.
All right, dude. So you acquired it, and then how did you find? So on the 1031 exchange, how did you end up finding this triplex?
Yeah. So speaking of Felipe is my business partner at REI Call Center, and he's been on my ass for like, Anton, I find properties on MLS. He's in Nashville, Tennessee. And what he does is he finds properties that could be flips, that you can add value to on MLS.
Yeah.
And he calls the realtors and he offers 50, 60, 70,000 below asking. And he's getting these deals. So now I have a property that I just sold for $425,000. I need to find a property that's more expensive than that. I need to find a fixer-upper. And I only have 45 days to do it. So what do? I use the Felipe strategy. I'm like, let's go. Let's hit the MLS, guys. There's deals to be had in MLS right now. And what we did is we found this 3-unit, 3,000 square foot property. It's a monster. With an updated roof. It needed complete rehab inside in West Palm Beach, Florida. It was listed for $690,000. We offered $590, $100,000 less, and we ended up getting it for $600.
Crazy. And how long was it listed for? Like, did you do a search and like, hey, only if they're listed for whatever a year? But like, how long was it even listed for?
I'll be honest with you, I won't be able to tell. I don't think it was for that much. I don't think it was that long. Right now in this market, I feel like investors are getting smarter, and the sellers are also like trying to get so much for the properties, and then I wouldn't say it was listed for more than 45 days, maybe 45, maybe 50 days, but it wasn't something that was on there for like 180 plus days. It was definitely a deal. At 690, it was definitely pushing it a little bit. So that's why I use the Felipe strategy. I offered $100,000 less. And the funny thing, guys, is I called a realtor. So what you do is this: you find a deal on an MLS, then you look for comps, which is what other properties are selling for, right? So you want to make sure that you know your numbers, and then you call the realtor and offer like I said, 50, 60, 70, $100,000 less. And that's what I did. I was like, screw it, let's do it. 590 final offer.
And so was it you that who's usually making the offers in your team? Like when you have a cold caller who's making the calls or something, like who ultimately presents the offer?
Yes.
How does that tell me about the flow? Like cold callers are calling, and then like at what point is the offer presented?
So the offer is presented through our acquisition managers. And how that works is we have cold callers and then we have acquisition managers. Acquisition managers are like our sharks. They're the closers. They're the closers.
The big guns.
So They were cold callers before. We found out that they're awesome in building rapport. They're awesome at what they're doing. So we're promoting a lot of them right now into acquisitions, and they're freaking crushing it. So the offer comes from them. So the lead comes into my CRM. I use a free CRM called Asana, and I put the lead in there, and I put in my notes to my acquisition manager, hey, Fernando, give this guy a call and offer 500,000 or 590,000. And so the offer was made. And then they came back to us and saying that the seller would not take anything below 600. And then we said, well, if we put an offer today at 600, would you accept it? And he said yes. And we're like, do it. And so we sent the offer. Yeah.
Cool. And so what's the strategy? How are you, how is this a better deal? Like in terms of, how did you analyze like how you were going to make money off of this?
Awesome. So I used our rental calculator. For those of you listeners, if you're on here, send me a DM calculator. I'll share those calculators with you. So we have a rental calculator and we have a flip calculator. And I knew that this was a 3,000 square foot home. I knew that we could easily convert it into a 5-unit. So it's a 4-2 in the front. It's a 2-1 in the middle and a 3-2 in the back. So we're taking the 4-2 and we're converting that one, and we're converting the 3-2. And then
so you'll turn a 4-2 into 2-2-1s?
I'm gonna turn the 4-2 into a 1-1 and a 2-1, right?
No, 3-1 and a 1-1.
Never mind. That I'm converting them into 2-2s. I'm sorry. No, 2-1s.
2-1s.
2-1. Man, you're confusing me, man.
I'm sorry.
2-2-1s. Yeah.
I can't do math when I'm live.
No, I suck at it.
2-1s.
Yeah, man.
All right, cool.
But before you ask me all the analysis questions, so I analyze it, right? I looked up all the rents. I knew that I was going to convert it. I was like, where can I add value? First of all, it needs a lot of fix-ups, so that's good. Second, I can break it down into units. Third, I can take a look at Zillow and see what properties they're renting for. And then I made sense, and it's going to cash flow about $1,000 for us. Again, Felipe's freaking thing. Felipe is like huge on cash flow. So for me, I was like, I need cash flow. So that's why we're going to convert it into a 5-unit.
Yeah, and to still cash flow, and it's an appreciation play too, right? So you get tax depreciation to help you out with all your other flips and things that you're doing.
Absolutely, absolutely. So it's a win-win. It's a win-win. But it definitely did not come without any pain. And that's where Fernando comes in, guys. I want to give a huge freaking shout out to you, not only because this is your live, but because you freaking saved the deal. You saved the freaking deal. And the reason is because we were using another lender that was not cooperating. We said that we only would like to go ahead and put 25% down on this property, which is at 180,000. We're pulling out. I did not want to put a penny more of my money into that property from other than what we have in the 1031 exchange. And the other lender kept going back and forth. And because it is a DSCR loan, which I will let you explain what that is in a minute, they came back and told me, no, you're going to have to bring another 15,000 to the closing table. They didn't tell me this until the day, few days before closing.
Yeah.
And we had some insurance issue. Guys, this deal went through 4 extensions. My realtor played a joke. She's like, extension number 5,832. She deleted this one. But yeah.
And it took like 2 months or something, right? Or how long was it?
Yeah, it took 2 months for a couple of reasons. Number one reason is because of the insurance. Right now, Florida, I'm in Florida, so Florida insurance is crazy. Number 2 is that lender that kept giving us a hard time. And number 3 is there was a tenant in there that I said, I'm not buying this house with a tenant inside because I didn't want no headaches.
Right.
So it went through a lot of things. And then 2 days before closing, my lender tells me, hey, Anton, sorry, you're going to have to come up with another 15K. I'm like, no, that's not what we talked about.
Yeah, crazy.
That's where,
that's the bummer. Yeah. And how much did you end up actually keep taking back into your pocket?
Yeah, so I walked away with like a $10,000 check.
Yeah.
Because it was extra. So I'll pay a little bit of taxes, but it's a good feeling.
Yeah.
I'll put it on to the rehab, so it'll be.
You pay a little bit of tax. No, well, hopefully, exactly. Your rehab is going to offset that.
Exactly.
So for people that don't know, like if you do rehab on a property, then you can write off a good chunk of that rehab to offset that $10,000. So if you go and you spend $10K on that property in rehab, which they're going to do, they're going to spend more than $10K, right? Then you guys are going to be good. How much is the rehab cost going to be, you think?
So We're estimating 30,000, but
Okay.
I think we can do less than that because my cousin is actually
You got
is
a cousin?
handling that part. I got a cousin. I got one of those cousins that can do anything and everything, and I'm like, bro, go. So I'm paying him a good chunk, but I think we're gonna be able to do it in 30K. I mean,
That's dope.
maybe maybe less.
And
Maybe less.
so after all, and then after you do the 30K, and after you fix it up, at the end of it, how much is it going to be worth, and what do you think you're going to refi at the top value?
Yeah, so that's a great question. So I am doing a DSCR loan. I will let you explain that. I'm not like, I just do whatever Fernando tells me. Anton, you got to do this. And basically the reason is because I wanted to buy it in the name of the LLC. I did not want this to go into my DTI. And I also wanted to cash out in a year from now. So we're estimating that if we can make it into a 5 unit, fix it up, rent it out, bring up the rents in that area, in that property, we're probably going to be anywhere between $680 to $700,000 that we would be able to use as our LTV, and then we will hopefully with Fernando a year from now refi out 80, maybe 90% of that. I don't know, depending on where
Yeah.
you're gonna put me, my man.
Right. We have different options. So yeah, going back onto like the financing side. Well, people drop your questions. Anna, you're awesome. I'm doing a DSCR loan with Anna right now too. She's in here. So what's up for everybody? Felipe, I don't know if Felipe is still in here or not, but yeah, Felipe and Anton are business partners. They run REI Call Center, which is a call center agency that helps wholesalers get leads to get deals just like the one that you got. On the financing side, so anybody have any questions, drop them for Anton on how he did this, because it's not every day you get to talk to somebody who takes massive action. To be able to do this like every day for a living. I was watching one of your stories, and being a business owner is not easy. It's not super easy. Like, it's stressful. Ton of stuff goes wrong. Like he said, 4 or 5 different extensions, insurance not wanting to give you insurance on the property. You have to be willing to go through these headaches. It being extended 2 months, your lender coming, like, giving you wrong issues the last week, and you have to pivot. So there's just like so much problem solving and stress that has to happen. What do you what do you say to that? How do you manage that? And how do you carry on with it? Or like people who are concerned about that level of stress.
Yeah, I think made a story about this one today, or about how being a business owner, just like you said, it's not for everybody. It's a stressful environment. Every single day you have to go through shit. I'm not complaining, but I'm just saying that it's not all flowers and roses, right? So you have to go
Yeah.
through shit. But
You just have to
the
be
thing
okay
that,
going through it and handling it.
yeah, because you're the one that's going to be handling it.
Right.
But the thing is, what I tell my employees, Fernando, we have over 300 agents in Egypt that we are super proud of, and they are phenomenal
300.
workers.
Whoa.
300 people are not working for us. It's insane. It's hard for me to say even that. I mean, to even imagine. But anyway, what I was going to say is it's so much, and I know we hear this all the time in terms of mindset, but it's the ownership mindset that I'm trying to put into my employees and to myself as well. It's that whatever comes to your way, take the ownership mindset and say, this is my problem, and I'm going to deal with it, and I'm going to figure it out. And
Right.
It helps when you have somebody like Fernando on your team. It helps when you have somebody like Omnia. She's on this call right now. I saw her jump in. It helps when you have somebody like Felipe on your team helping you out as well. Of course, surround yourself with those people. But honestly, unless I really made a post on one of our Slack channels that Fernando and I are members of, I was 2 days before closing, guys. I'm like, what the fuck do I do? Do I lose my 16,000 earnest money that I put in and just back out, or do I figure this out? And I'm like, I need help. And then Fernando right away texted me.
That's true. I didn't even know that was a possible risk. Oh man, I didn't think about that. You're right.
Dude.
So earnest money deposit, that's money that you're putting up and saying, I'm gonna buy this property, and if I don't, you can keep 16 grand.
Exactly. So that's it. That's exactly what happens. I'm sitting there, I'm like 2 days before closing. I'm like, I don't want to, I mean, could I come up with this 15,000? Yes. But at the end of the day, I'm like, screw this. Like, I don't want to put another, I mean, that money was going to go to rehab. It's one of those things. It's like, I didn't want to take the easy way out. Number two, I didn't want to use I didn't want to lose the earnest money. And number three, I was like, I knew there's a freaking way.
Right.
And when Fernando jumped on, I'm like, it was just night and day. And these guys actually, I'm not going to name their names because I don't want to do any bad harm, but these guys have actually a pretty good name. They're out of California as well, my guy. I think. I don't know. But anyway, it doesn't matter about that. Fernando was like night and day. He jumped in. He's like, Anton. And then a day before closing, guys, Fernando calls me. I think it was a day before closing or whatever. Or maybe it was that Friday. We're supposed to close that Friday. And you called me on a Thursday. Listen, man, we got some bad news. And this is my fourth extension already, guys. I'm like, wow, what? Well, we can't close because of this and this. We had some issues with the appraisal that we were trying to get back from the other lender. And guys,
we're trying to do an appraisal transfer, so we didn't have to do the appraisal, right? Problems happen. So even it doesn't matter. Like even the switch to me, like I'm inheriting whatever. I'm a problem, but I took ownership of it, right? I was like, this isn't Anton's problem. It's my problem now, and I owned it. You know, I had to, and literally. So go ahead. What were you saying?
Yeah, I was gonna flip this back on you. How you took that ownership mindset instead of saying, well, Anton, call the owner, let him know it's the lending. Well, everybody goes through this because that's what lenders tell you, and because they're the big boys in the room. Fernando took charge. And he sent an email with a video recording of himself explaining exactly what happened, sent it to the owner, sent it to the realtor, to myself, and I was like, holy crap. Of course, the owner and the realtor at that point were like, of course, no, come on, man. Yes.
What are they going to do, right? What are they
exactly. No, but if he didn't send that email, if he didn't send that video, it would have been like, what the heck? It took you, right. I don't know how long it took you, man, but I'm so thankful for you to do that because you took that ownership mindset. It was your problem now, right. And you fixed it. And I'm like, I don't know what else to tell you.
Man, that was big, dude. And they were after that, man. I felt like it was a lot easier to have conversations with them, with David or with like their team, the following week. Like it's like they had a different level of respect. At least I felt that from before when I hopped on, where they were like, hey, this guy's just kind of like screwing around with me, like blah blah blah, right? I made a couple stories about it, like that he had this Italian accent, like, hey yo, Fernando, so what are we gonna do, man? We're gonna do this deal or what? You know, it's either me, you, and the tabut. No, I'm just kidding. I don't even know if he was Italian or not, dude. Maybe he was Italian. But yeah. So, dude, it was sweet. Everybody that just hopped on, we're actually just closing out right now. Anton. So just to cap out, for everybody that just hopped on. So Anton is an owner of REI Call Center along with Felipe Mejia, and they have over 300 agents, callers out of Egypt that they've trained, which by the way, I'm going to hit you up on how do you scale. That's another conversation another time. How do you scale a company up to 300 agents, right? SOPs, trainings, all that stuff. And on this call, what we talked about was him doing a 1031 exchange into a triplex, how he's going to turn that triplex into a fiveplex, and then cash flow, right? Do a cash out refinance by the end of the year. And this is just another Tuesday, dude. It's just another Wednesday. Just another Wednesday.
Just another Wednesday, man. Yeah. So that deal came from an off-market deal that we did a flip. We took it 1031. We put it into this. Yeah, I mean, it's such an insane.
Yeah,
I can't wait.
How it all connects, right? How it all trickles in daisy chains into each other.
And we should do it live a year from now when I cash out, so we can talk about the big win, the big check that you're going to give me at the end of the day. Because even this, look, what is your cash out refi right now from the DSCR? Like, what is it, 80% of LTV or?
You could do 80%, right? 80% LTV on the cash out DSCR, and right.
So can you do higher? Can you do?
If you go conventional, if you could handle it conventional, then you can go up to 95%, right?
It's going to be in an LLC still. I want to get in. I don't want to hitting my debt to income.
If you want to go into a DSCR where it's not hitting your DTI, then yeah, we'd have to go. We have to go DSCR, and then we may, we'll talk about that later. But we might have to go into a different lender, so we know for sure it's not going to go into your DTI.
Cool. So let's just do quick numbers here. 700,000 is what I'm thinking that property is going to be worth. It was on the market for 690. We got it for 600. In the condition that it was in. So I think 700,000 is a pretty good number from a year from now that we can get that property up to. 700,000 times 80% LTV, that puts me at 560. How much money do I owe you, Fernando? Do you remember?
How much money like in terms of closing costs and all that stuff?
No, I mean like in terms of my loan that I have to repay. What was it?
Right now? Oh, shoot.
Like 460? Let's just say 460.
Yeah, it's like 460. Huh, you're right. 460.
So I'm gonna be walking away with $100,000.
Hey, dude, you're gonna get paid $100,000. So for people that don't know, like debt isn't taxed. So if you can move profits into a property and then do a refinance, then you're not gonna get taxed on the money, even though you would have been taxed on the money if you would have just kept the 1031 exchange money. if you pocket the 1031 exchange money, you get taxed. But if you put it into a property and then do a cash out refinance, it now became debt. You're not taxed on it. So you're gonna get 100 grand. It's a pretty dope story, dude. No, man, it's inspirational. I'm grateful that you hopped on. I think I saw a lot of people saying what's up, but dude, I appreciate you being on. Anything else that you want to say? Anything you want?
No, just
people
yeah. Just don't be afraid of the market. A lot of things are happening right now, guys. Just make sure you're locking up these properties at a good price. Don't be afraid to offer 50, 60. I offered $100,000.
You offered $100,000 below. Yeah.
And I got it below 90, but still, I offered $100,000 less. And so
Right.
it came up a little bit. But don't be afraid to make those offers, because then when interest rates come down, you can cash out refi. And then you can get your interest rates down and bring up that cash flow. If you guys are interested in those calculators, DM me calculator.
Yeah, I'm gonna text you.
I'll send you. There you go. I'll send you the REI calculator rental that we use and the calculator that we use for the flips. Here to help anytime.
See you, man. Thank you, Anton. Thanks for being on. Appreciate you.
Take care, my guys. Ciao.
All right, later, guys.